Good morning. I'm doing another PROoxia here, and I always think that I've said enough, but I've been studying this for so many years, and I keep discovering it myself. Get my hair licked down here. I just kind of woke up and did a meditation this morning. So we talk about there are two things I want to cover this morning, and one is how we evolved. We started out kind of worm-like, then became kind of fish-like and had fins, and those fins kind of turned into hands and feet, and we were on all fours. And all fours protects us in many ways. It exposes the back of our neck, but we can crawl up into a ball, we can cover this, our heart, our lungs, all the oxygenated, the main computer, as it were. We know that people can lose both arms and both legs and live. We need our brain, heart, lungs, and digestive system. And that is what initially develops in the first trimester of embryogenesis. So, all right. So we called around. We decided, it's probably safer in the trees. So we started going in the trees and putting, and we could, protect ourselves on the tree, jump out of the tree, crawl up the tree. Apes developed. I mean, these are kind of established Darwinian type concepts, and we can work with them successfully. And all of a sudden, fire was discovered. Wow, we can control fire eventually, and that once you have fire, nothing comes too close to that, right? So we are protected. And we can open up these vulnerable areas, death, or they, get you from the back too, but death, and then the tummy area is very easy to enter. And I guess they start out by eating what you just ate, or whatever's in your stomach, appetizer, and then they work their way up towards these soft tissues. Go for the softer tissues. The fatty tissues, unlike what we do today, we just eat the lean stuff. No, back then they went for the fat. gave the dogs the meat we eat today, according to some evolutionists. So, and then of course and that enabled more brain oxygenation when remember the east and west side of our breathing. That's how we stretch, right? And in a tree, wow, you can stretch and just hang there. Oh, yeah. Our back is our biggest breath. And you can't really get the east-west without putting your arms up. The biggest breath is in the back. We evolved that way. Great. That helped us get up to the point where we can think, well, maybe we're better off in trees, and all of this is enabling the brain, and the heart pumps oxygen to the brain, and the lungs take in the oxygen that go to the heart that gets pumped into the brain. Ta-ta-tum, ta-ta-tum. That's the origins of life. It's the origins of intelligent life, a mammalian life, of us. Let's just stick to us. We're a very good topic. So that, and we have bones and nervous system, and a brain stem that mostly connects to our face. We'll get back to that. And then there's one big nerve, the vagus nerve, that goes down and signals to everything in the body. The motor signals go down the spine to our limbs to feel around the environment. And then signals are sent back up, giving us a report to the brain, because the brain has no feeling. But it's figured a lot of things out, hasn't it? It's quite a machine, oxygenated machine. And as I tell you this, just keep breathing. All that matters is how you process what's on that next breath, when I went into neuroscience, really about 15 years ago now, started getting into, I had realized the power of oxygen in other things in my life. And so I thought, well, when I'm going into neuroscience, I'm going to just bring that oxygen thing into neuroscience. And I did, and looky, other things happened too. One particular problem that I think my brain kind of super healed from. That'll be in the next book. So we're breathing in, right? We hit the trees. We're going east-west. So we've got the back breath. Then we go to like I say, you cannot take, good luck taking the east-west there. So we've got back breath. We can try to put the east-west in, but the only way to do it is to lift your arms up, go into the trees. And then, so that's been raised. So we've evolved up in the trees. And so we can stand up. We can stay up now. Now where do we breathe? The sternum breath. So we continue to go into these specifics about the mechanics of breathing that pair with how we evolved. We're on all fours. Fish, you know how they get their breath? You know how they get their oxygen? Manganese, not magnesium, manganese. And their mitochondria, how exactly it works is the manganese split oxygen out of water, and the fish are like oxygenated. That happens with trees too. Manganese is I think the second largest, most abundant element on the planet. It's really flaky. Well, it has different forms, but the flaky form is really active, and it splits oxygen out of water. That's why I suggest we bump up our manganese during COVID so our mitochondria stay strong and bolstered and fortified. They don't have to be spitting out manganese. Manganese is delivered like the Eggman, the Milkman. Here's your manganese. You run a little bit low on water, there's your manganese, right? So let's keep looking at that. I'm surprised that hasn't gone into the mainstream yet, but I just keep putting it out there. So back breath. There's no other way we can get the east and west side of the diaphragm and that inhalation without putting our arms up. And then we developed tools. We were safer. We were, confident and started developing tools. Like birds develop tools. Lots of great science on that. And of course, and apes can talk. So along certain stages of evolution, certain other things happen. The communication thing, the ability to understand symbols and concepts, language, or language-like concepts. Speaking of which, Dr. Steven Pinker, who says that, music is cheesecake, not necessary in our evolution, I believe he's absolutely wrong. So we grew up foraging in our environment. Well, he's half wrong. Because the happy hypoxics, that's all they do is talk. Blah, 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 blah. It takes very little oxygen to talk. It takes oxygen. So the depth, according to Steven Pinker, the depth of human existence is only in language. You could say that in several languages and get a little extra pop from it. But if you sing it, you wouldn't even say the depth of human language. The depth of human language. You could sing that and go all over the map with it. It completely activates the brain, oxygenates the system, provides free energy for Depth, a whole different area of brain stimulation. Depth is the pituitary gland. The depth is the sternum. So you can take one word and run the many gamuts of understanding, of depth, insight, submission to the word. Who am I to say what the depth of human language is, or the depth of the brain's capacity is? When you go high, like you really, that stimulates an area, and you like, I'm just saying the word. I don't know what it means, but when this grows back, when this recovers from that high note, something will have happened. So our actions signal through oxygenated DNA expression what needs to stay, what needs to go, what needs to be fixed, what needs to grow. Hey, I'm a poet and I don't know it, but I'm starting to show it. Another thing, when I was talking about that phrase, the depth of human language, all these other words came out this morning. So I'm kind of performing for you here. But in the self-actualization process, many other aspects of brain function happen subconsciously. That's what an oxygenated brain does. It's a subconscious functional brain. So as we evolved, okay, so we're on all fours. Fear shot us up in the trees. Oh my gosh, stay up here no matter what. We're safe. Hang on for dear life. And that's DNA expression. So that led to us swinging around in the trees and getting more oxygen as a result. Lifting those protective ribs off of these delicate lungs that sustain us through mitochondrial, development. More oxygen, more mitochondria. Bada bada bang, bada 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 boom. More mitochondria, more immune system to fight COVID. More oxygen, stronger mitochondria. And when COVID comes in, the mitochondria go to work. And then they're like, rest, shut down. We need to repair some stuff around here because there was just been a battle. And that's what happens during sleep. That's what happens during sickness. We shut down because the mitochondria do these immune responses through low oxygen. That's the dichotomy, huh? The dichotomy of science and biology. It's brilliant. It's so fascinating. And I don't pretend to know it all, but wow, the discovery and being open-minded to dichotomous understandings. Mitochondria grow, stay strong through oxygen. Sickness, adversity, injury, we shut down because all of a sudden it needs to go in hypoxic mode to fight. So we are mostly relaxation. 90% of us, the paradigm for our health is 90% parasympathetic relaxation. But not always all the time. Don't get obese. Don't get sick and stay sick. And don't get hypoxic. Because that's not relaxation. Hypoxic is, all right, I'm relaxed. But 10% of that is like, whoa, let's go do something now. Let's go and build something. Let's pick this up. Let's move those things. Let's exercise. Let's go for a brisk walk. Let's go swimming. Things like that. So there's a balance there. So that 10% of boom, 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 that's Darwinism. And I always forget to do this because I'm looking at myself. I just look at you. That's Darwinism. And the rest of it is optimal Hayes-Bennett evolution. Hayes-Bennett evolution. How's that? Blessings to you all. That is another breathing lesson in that once we stood up, had fire to protect us, had hunting tools to make it easier for us. We could come out of those trees. Heaven only knows what those apes threw from the trees. You want a coconut? I'll give you a coconut. Boing. And their aim got pretty good too. So you see, that's evolution. It's fun. It's fascinating. We are it. We are the gold star. I think we want to stay there. So we came up, we exposed these areas. Yeah, here's my throat. Come get me. We are bolstered through our our development of our brain to manage the environment. And then we started to farm and things like that. So we could control our, healthy nutritional intake. Not too much. It's too much now, but not too much. And we evolved the Enlightenment, the Renaissance. We built churches to music is free energy. The beautiful, we discovered a flute, which turned into a pipe organ, which is like, free energy with a genius composer behind it. And we just like, we don't have to breathe. We just sit in awe. But it does make us breathe. Okay, there's so much more to talk about this. And I might do one more this morning. You know why? Because as soon as I think I'm finished talking to you about this, my brain consolidates it and new insights come into the picture. And that's what we need to share and learn from. Breathe on. All that matters is what you do on the next breath. What do I want to do today? Even thinking deoxygenates areas. So give it the oxygen to deoxygenate with. Hey, Macarena. And that, my friends, is a breathing lesson. Have a great day. Blessings.